These are not meditation sessions. They're 60-second power moves that keep you centered and in control.
Welcome to the Free Lawyer Podcast. I'm your host, Gary Miles.
Happy Monday, everybody. I hope you had a great weekend and welcome back to the Free Lawyer. What if I told you that the biggest threat to your law career is not your caseload, your clients, or even your competition? You know, after 40 years as a trial lawyer and managing partner, I've discovered something shocking. Most lawyers are trapped in a prison they built themselves, and they don't even know it. And today I'm going to show you how to break free. Let me ask you some questions. Have you ever been in the middle of a client meeting and realized your mind was racing, thinking about an upcoming deadline, or perhaps reliving a past mistake or something you might have done wrong or something you might have missed? How often do you feel overwhelmed by the never-ending demands of your legal career? What if I told you that the key to reducing stress, improving focus, and finding true fulfillment in your practice is not working harder, but being fully present? Before we dive in, I'm Gary Miles. I spent 4 decades in litigation and family law. I managed one of Maryland's leading law firms, and now I help lawyers just like you find freedom in your practice. I've been where you are, caught up in the constant whirlwind of deadlines, client expectations, and complex cases. And now I help lawyers like you find balance, clarity, peace, and fulfillment in your demanding career. If you're feeling overwhelmed right now, stick around. What I'm about to share can change everything. In this episode, you'll discover why being present is your secret weapon against stress, the 3 mental traps that keep you stuck, a simple technique to regain control of your day, and the exact system I use with my clients to transform their practice. By the end of this episode, you will learn powerful strategies to stay present in your daily work, reduce anxiety, and improve your overall well-being. Stick around and I'll also share how you can book a complimentary coaching session with me to start transforming your career today. So let's talk about the power of now. Let me share something that transformed my own law practice. You know, in my 4 decades as a trial lawyer and managing partner, I discovered that the most successful lawyers aren't the ones working the hardest or billing the most. They're the ones who master what I call the power of a now. Here's a startling reality. Lawyers spend most of their day mentally elsewhere. They're either replaying past cases or negotiations, or they're anxiously planning for future outcomes. What does that mean? See, every time you're stuck in the past or you're worried about the future, you're disconnected from the present moment. And that's where real power and effectiveness lie. Let me show you what this looks like in real practice. Imagine this familiar scenario. You're in a very important client meeting, but your mind is preparing for tomorrow's deposition, or second-guessing the brief you filed last week, or worrying about your afternoon court appearance, or planning responses to emails you haven't even received yet. Have you ever been there? I know I have. I intimately understand the struggle because I lived it. Years ago, I remember being in a critical client meeting when something jolting happened. My client asked me a question, and I realized I completely missed the last 5 minutes of our conversation. My mind had been everywhere except where it needed to be, in that moment, present with that client. So when that happens, when we lose our connection to the present moment, our stress hormones spike, our decision-making ability drops, and most importantly, critical attention to detail, which is essential for us lawyers, diminishes significantly. But here's the real power of being in the now. It's where all your effectiveness lives. Every successful motion you've written, every case you've won, every client you've helped, It all helped. It all happened in the present moment. Now you might be thinking, Gary, my practice is too demanding. It's too fast. It's too busy for that kind of focus. You don't understand. I hear you. That's exactly why mastering the power of now is so crucial. It's not about slowing down. It's about being fully engaged with whatever you're doing right now. And in fact, there are 3 specific mental traps that keep lawyers from accessing this power. And I'm going to show you today exactly how to overcome them. Now that you understand the power of now, let's talk about those 3 mental traps that can keep you stuck in a cycle of stress and overwhelm. I call these the triple traps of the legal mind, and recognizing them is the first step to breaking 3. Trap 1 is the past prison. That's where your mind consistently replays the outcome of that case you just finished, arguments you should have made differently, documents you might have worded better, client interactions you wish you'd handled another way. We're always second guessing ourselves about things that happened in the past. Let me share a personal example. Early in my career, I lost a significant case. For months afterwards, I replayed every motion, every objection, every piece of evidence in my mind. And that mental replaying was not improving my skills. It was draining my energy and affecting my current cases. The key to escaping the past prison is not to ignore your experiences. It's to learn from them intentionally and then return to the present moment. And I'll show exactly how to do that later in this episode. The second trap is the future fear. As lawyers, we're trained to anticipate problems, but this can become excessive. Signs you're caught in this trap include constantly worrying about upcoming deadlines, anxiety about potential client reactions. How will my client respond? Perpetual what if scenario planning, obsessing over opposing counsel strategies. What's he going to do? What motions is he going to file? And that trap is particularly dangerous because it masquerades as good lawyering. But there's a crucial difference between strategic preparation and paralyzing anticipation. I used to spend too much time each day worrying about my day before it even started. When I learned to distinguish between productive preparation and future fear, my productivity, my effectiveness dramatically increased. Even worse, I would constantly worry about the outcomes of upcoming motions and trials, and it created so much stress, and it doesn't have to be that way. The third, and perhaps the most insidious trap, is the multitasking myth. This is the belief that doing multiple things at once shows you're working harder, you're busier, and you're more productive. Let me share the real truth. Multitasking reduces productivity. It increases the rates of errors. It reduces the quality of your work, and it's a huge time waster. Think about the last time you tried to review a contract while you're on a phone call, or answer emails during a Zoom meeting, or draft a motion while listening to a webinar. The reality is you weren't doing either thing very well. You were rapidly switching between them, and neither was getting good focus. Before I show you how to break free from these traps, I want to offer something special to you. The first 5 lawyers who schedule a call through the link below will receive a free copy of my book, Breaking Free, along with our strategy session. So take that chance, schedule a free complimentary session with me, and get a copy of my book, Breaking Free, as well. So here's the good news. Those 3 traps, they're learned behaviors, and that means they can be unlearned. The key is understanding that the past is a lesson, not a prison. The future needs preparation, not paranoia. And focus beats multitasking every time. Now that you understand the power of now and the 3 traps that hold you back, Let me share the system I use with my clients to transform their practice. I call it the Presence Practice System, and it's designed specifically for busy lawyers who think they don't have time for mindfulness. And this system has three core methods: the 45-5 focus method, the client presence protocol, and the mindset mastery method. So let's talk about component one, the 45-5 focus method. It's a game changer for lawyers. And here's how it works. You work intensely for 45 minutes on a single task. You take a deliberate 5-minute break, and then you repeat the cycle. But here's the crucial part that most lawyers miss. During those 45 minutes, you commit to working on one task only. One task. That means no checking emails, no answering phone calls, no quick peeks at your calendar, no switching between documents. My clients who implement this method complete their work in less time, but they see they catch crucial details and make less mistakes. They never go back to multitasking. To implement this, start your day by identifying your top 3 priorities. Then, schedule a 45-5 block for each, and then honor your 5-minute break. They're crucial for maintaining focus. So try that out. I'll bet you see you get so much more work done and are not so overwhelmed and stressed. The second component is what I call the client presence protocol. This is about transforming every client interaction from a task to a true opportunity for excellence. Here's the protocol. The first is a 2-minute reset. Take 2 minutes before every client interaction. Clear your desk of unrelated materials. Close every program on your computer except what's needed for the client. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb and place it in your drawer. Review only the relevant client file and take 3 deep breaths, focusing on making each exhale longer than the inhale. And here's why that works. That simple 120 seconds will shift your brain from scattered to focus mode. Now your client has your entire attention and you're ready for the meeting. 2, the focus framework. During your client meeting, keep your phone face down. Close your laptop unless needed. Maintain eye contact with your client. And I suggest taking handwritten notes rather than typing because it allows a better connection with your client. And if you have to use your computer, explain why to maintain your connection. Listen 70% of the time and speak 30%. And show you understand your client by saying things like, I understand, or tell me more. And the third part is the reflection close. At the end of the meeting, summarize the key points. Mark urgent items with a star for immediate follow-up. Write down any promises or commitments made. Confirm your next steps with a client and then schedule a follow-up immediately. And what you'll find if you follow that system is you're so much more engaged with your clients. And you'll also find that they respect you and appreciate you more. And the third component of the system, in many ways it's the most important, is what I call the mindset mastery method. After 4 decades in law and coaching hundreds of lawyers, I've discovered that mastering your mindset is more crucial than mastering your calendar. And this method has 3 core elements that work together to transform how you experience your practice. The first is the power pause practice. The second, the reframe ritual. The third, the success spiral. Let's start with the power pause practice. I'm going to ask you to take 3 strategic pauses during your day. The first is in the morning when you set your intention for the day. Do it during your first hour. And you set your tone for the whole day. And here's how you do it. It'll only take you a minute. Take 3 deep breaths for 15 seconds. Inhale for 4 counts. Hold for 4 counts. Exhale for 6 counts. Ask yourself 3 important questions that center you. What's the most important outcome you need today? Who needs your best attention today? And what one thing would make today successful? You're setting your goals for the day. And the last part is to set your intention. Make one clear statement about how you show up today. For example, today I choose to be fully present in every client interaction. And that only takes a minute, but gets your day off to a good start. The second is the midday to reset and recalibrate, usually around lunch. And here's the sequence. Take a physical reset. Stand up, roll your shoulders back, take 2 deep breaths and stretch your arms overhead. And then clear yourself mentally. Close your eyes, visualize a clean desk, and let go of any stress from the morning. And then review your afternoon commitments. Identify your next most important action and recommit to being truly present. And then at the end of the day, before leaving office, have the evening power pause. This is your time to release and then transition to leaving the office. The first is a quick review. Acknowledge 3 things you completed. Note 1 thing you learned. And identify 1 thing you're grateful for. 3 things you completed, 1 thing you learned, and 1 thing you're grateful for. The second part is to clear and close. Organize your priority list for tomorrow. Clear your desk, close all your computer programs. And the third is the transition ritual. Take 2 deep breaths. State my work is complete for today. And see yourself truly leaving work at work. And here's what makes this different. These are not meditation sessions. They're 60-second power moves that keep you centered and in control. And there are 3 keys to making this work. The first is to set specific triggers for each pause. So for example, the morning with your first coffee, midday before or right after lunch, and evening when you close your last file. Second is keep it simple. You don't need any special equipment. You don't need to leave your office. You can even do it between meetings. And third, I suggest you start with 1. For example, begin with just the morning pause and then add others as your morning pause becomes habit. And I'd encourage you to be consistent rather than perfect. And the second element is the Reframe Ritual. This is about transforming challenges into opportunities. We have so many challenges, and sometimes they beat us down. But by reframing those challenges into opportunities, we can create a much different outlook. And here's how it works. When faced with a challenging situation, acknowledge the challenge, identify the opportunity, and then create an action plan. And let me give you 4 examples, 4 common scenarios so you can see how that works. The first is the demanding client. We all have them. Client who just is so difficult and so challenging on the phone or in meetings. The first is acknowledge. This client is frustrated and demanding immediate attention. And then identify the opportunity. Opportunity to demonstrate incredible responsiveness, to strengthen your relationship with the client, and to set clear boundaries while showing you care and are interested in the client. And then take action. Schedule a focused 15-minute call. Prepare 3 options and solutions for the client. And then document the interaction for future reference. Another example would be the difficult opposing counsel. Haven't we all encountered them? So begin by acknowledging this attorney is being unnecessarily aggressive. Identify the opportunity. Opportunity to model professional excellence, to build a reputation for composure, to find creative solutions, and then take action. Respond strategically, but not reactively. Document your interactions and look for possible mutual win opportunities. See, instead of letting that difficult attorney ruin your day, see it as an opportunity. The other is the tight deadline. Don't we all face them? Acknowledge this timeline seems impossible. Identify the opportunity to demonstrate efficiency Strengthen the collaboration of your team. Innovate your process to get more done quickly, and then take action. Break that big task into 45-minute sprints. Identify other resources you could use, and then delegate effectively. And the final example is the unexpected motion. When that lawyer files that surprise motion that you weren't planning on and it kind of ruins your day, acknowledge this surprise filing disrupts my planned schedule. Identify the opportunity to show adaptability, exercise strategic thinking, and strengthen your position in the case. And then take action. Quickly reassess your priorities. Identify your immediate next steps you need to take, and adjust your day schedule. So how do you make this work in real time? The first is you need to set up a trigger system. Create specific triggers for when to use the ritual. And what might they be? When you feel your stress rising, before responding to a challenging email or phone call, or when you face a completely unexpected situation. And two, the practice method. Start with one type of situation. Use that framework consistently, and then document your results. And then three, check your success. See if you had less stress, made better decisions, improved your relationships with your clients, supported your team, and had better dynamics with your team. Remember, the power of this ritual isn't in its complexity. It's in its simplicity and consistency. So start with one challenging situation you frequently face. Apply that ritual for 1 week and see how it transforms your experience and your outcomes. And the final element is the success spiral. This is about building momentum through intentional wins. So in the morning, we'll begin with number 1, the morning victory map. Identify 3 key wins you want to achieve. Make one easily attainable, like complete your follow-up calls or cleaning up your email. One should challenge you, like drafting a complex agreement or preparing a key witness. One should be a long-term win, working on preparing that major case, or your business development strategy, or mentoring your associate attorney. And then celebrate each win consciously. The second component is energy management. Schedule your high-stakes tasks, your most complicated tasks, during your peak hours, which for most people is when we first get to the office from 9 to 10:30. Use the rhythm, your natural energy rhythm, but build in breaks, build in recovery periods. And 3, progress tracking. Keep a simple daily win journal. 3 wins, 1 gratitude, your focus for next day. And review it weekly to build confidence. The success spiral is not about massive changes. It's about consistent small wins that build momentum. Start with just identifying 3 wins tomorrow. Watch how the simple practice begins to transform your experience of practicing law because you're focusing on your wins instead of on your problems. But the real beauty of this method is how it integrates with other components. You can use it during the 45-5 focus method breaks. You can apply it before client meetings, and you can let it guide your daily planning. So let's bring this all together and show you exactly how these 3 powerful systems work in harmony to transform your practice. Imagine starting tomorrow with your first 45-5 focus session. You sit down at your desk, set your timer, and you dive deep into that complex brief you've been putting off. The one that's so hard you keep putting it last, even though it's important. For 45 minutes, you're completely focused, completely immersed. No distractions, no interruptions, just you and your expertise flowing onto the page. When the timer rings, you take your 5-minute break and you use it for your power pause practice. Then your biggest client meeting of the day arrives. But this time you're ready. You engage your client presence protocol. You clear your desk, you focus your mind, you listen to your client actively. And your client notices a difference immediately. They feel heard, understood, valued. This isn't just another meeting, it's a masterclass in client service. And throughout the day, challenges arise, don't they? They always do. But now with your mindset mastery method, you're no longer reactive. You're responsive. Each challenge becomes an opportunity through your reframe ritual. Your success spiral builds momentum with every small win. See, this isn't just about being a better lawyer. It's about reclaiming your life while elevating your practice. The power to transform your practice is not in working more hours. It's in being fully present for the hours you work. If you're ready to experience this transformation, schedule your complimentary coaching call with me and subscribe to this channel for weekly strategies on evaluating your practice, elevating your practice. Remember, the practice of law doesn't have to be a prison. You can be successful and present. You can win cases and have dinner with your family. You can build a thriving practice and enjoy your life. The choice is yours. The time is now. I'm Gary Miles, and I'll see you in our next video. And as always, please be well, be safe, and be free.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of the Free Lawyer Podcast. Wherever you are listening, if you enjoyed what I shared, please leave me a rating and review. I would appreciate hearing more about what you like best and what topics you might like me to cover in future episodes. If you are interested in experiencing a more fulfilling and a more successful life, please contact me at www.garymiles.net, where you can schedule a free discovery call with me so I can learn more about you, your challenges, and your dreams. I appreciate each and every one of you and have a great rest of your day. Thanks to all of you for your support.